One strike, one heartbeat. In the frozen kingdom, mercy wastes energy, for dominion here is not taken but shared by those who endure. In the silence of the white, new life whispers its beginning. The sea breathes, the ice listens, and life endures between them. Here survival is not cruelty, but balance written in blood. At the roof of the world, where life clings to cold, a ruthless king rules in silence. Strength wears many coats, yet endurance unites them beneath the same sky. Below the frozen skin of the sea, life dances where no warmth should exist. Patience reigns above while movement governs below, and hunter and hunted never share the same horizon. Every heartbeat counts, even for the smallest hunter, for they move not for comfort, but to keep the cold from standing still. The king walks where even the ice hesitates, yet even kings must kneel before hunger. Beneath the ice, speed replaces strength and the hunter's crown changes hands. Teamwork and patience define the ocean's assassins, striking without warning as every shadow hides intention and every motion becomes a test of endurance. In this realm, no kill belongs to one alone, for strength is measured not in muscle, but in the will to persist. Opportunity whispers only once beneath the storm, and though the storm yields, the struggle never ends. Ice follows power, and silence wears the crown once more, for dominion belongs only to those who endure. For a moment, even the ruthless find stillness. Change comes even to the endless, as the king walks a thinning throne. She rules the same sea that breathes life into those she never meets. In the mirror of ice he sees not his rule, but his belonging, and even as the world shifts his shadow, remains on the snow. The frozen north remembers its ruler not by crown but by survival. In the silence of the white, new life whispers again, for every birth feeds another story and another hunger. The north moves not toward the end but onward, for time here does not pass, it breathes. Even the cold must move, carving life where stillness once ruled, and the legacy continues, not written in stone but in footsteps on snow. All who survive the cold share the same pulse beneath the ice, for the White Kingdom stands eternal not by power but by balance. From the first snowflake to the last light, the Arctic endures, and its legacy lives not in the roar but in the quiet steps that follow. Every step is borrowed time. The throne of ice melts beneath its ruler, and life shifts under every surface, whether seen or unseen. To leave is to survive. To return is to endure. She teaches not with words but with footsteps, and as long as the light returns, so will they. In the kingdom of ice, endings are never final, only beginnings in disguise, and every mark left upon the ice becomes a story written in silence. From play, the lesson begins. The art of surviving the impossible. Strength here is silent and steady, the rhythm of breath against the storm. The king and her heir stand where sky meets eternity, and though the ice may fade, the spirit of the north remains. They follow the light as it circles the earth, messengers of the sun, waiting for the next season, the next trial, the next dawn. The north breathes not as a place but as a living soul of ice and sun, and he stands not as ruler, but as part of the endless design. In this silence there are no kings and no subjects, only endurance. As long as the light endures, so will the life within it, for every creature moves to the same silent law. Endure, adapt, continue. In the coldest silence, joy still finds a home, and the north, though it gives nothing easily, gives everything to those who stay. Even in silence, love speaks through touch, and the frozen heart beats on, quiet, eternal, unbroken. Light and life remain bound together in the endless breath of the north. The ice will change, and the world will turn, yet her spirit will remain. The sky keeps watch, guardian of the silent kingdom below, and the ice does not vanish but transforms, carrying memory into motion. Above the ice, the ancient heart of the world beats at the edge of the frozen realm where survival is balance written in blood and peace follows power. Even kings allow the hungry to feed. Each footprint becomes a memory the world will recall long after its maker is gone. And under the eternal sun they walk beyond endings as she carries the memory of ages carved not in stone but in snow. Every step fades, yet the journey remains eternal. The frozen world breathes not in silence, but in harmony. Her path is written in the rhythm of survival. Even as ice fades, its memory becomes the pulse of new life. Every wing beat and every breath sings the North's hymn of endurance. In the land of undying light, what melts away returns as the breath of tomorrow, for life moves in circles, and every path leads home. The sea remembers its kings, and the sky remembers their echoes. Long after the storm, the world remembers the silence that followed. Even kings grow tired, but the light grants them rest, and every creature that walks here carries a story older than time. To live here is to remember what life truly means, and even as the ice transforms, it preserves the pulse of life within it. What melts returns. What fades is reborn. And the North, eternal and unbroken, continues to breathe, and still the North unfolds its quiet truth, layer by layer, breath by breath. For the Arctic is not merely a place. It is a testament to persistence, a vast cathedral carved from wind and silence. Every drifting snowflake carries the memory of storms older than empires, and every shifting wind carries the whispers of creatures that once walked beneath a colder sun. Here, nothing is forgotten. Every life, no matter how brief, adds its thread to the endless tapestry of frost and endurance. Beneath the ice, the ancient currents move with purpose, bearing the weight of millennia, pulling life across an ocean that never rests. Above, the wind sculpts mountains of snow only to erase them the next dawn, reminding even the mighty that permanence is an illusion. The hunters trace paths that have existed longer than any single lineage, their instinct shaped by hardships that forged the very rhythm of the North. And still they walk, against blizzards that blind, across plains where time itself feels frozen, through nights so long that dawn becomes myth. Yet when light returns, it washes the world in gold, touching the fur of the young as gently as a promise. In this fragile brilliance, the mothers teach their offspring the sacred laws: to wait, to watch, to listen for the breath beneath the wind. They teach them to feel the heartbeat of the earth through their paws, to understand that every step must honor the land that allows them passage. For here, existence is both privilege and trial. Predators do not hunt out of cruelty, but out of the unspoken pact of survival. Prey does not flee in fear alone, but in reverence of the life that pulses within them. And so the dance continues, a choreography written by the seasons, performed by creatures who know that survival is not victory, but continuity. Ice cracks, reforms, drifts, and returns, carrying on its back the stories of those who have crossed it and those who never made a home. The aurora rises like a curtain of living fire, illuminating the plains where the old kings once stood. Its colors ripple across the darkness, painting the sky with the memory of every life that shaped the North. Even the silence hums with legacy. The cubs grow strong beneath this sky, guided by footsteps they will one day outgrow.